All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. Happy Monday or whatever day you listen. Thanks for listening, by the way. We've noticed a big spike in downloads and in traffic for the podcast. So that's great news. What's up, Jenny Pop? How are we doing?
We are doing.
All right. Literally, nobody calls Jenny Pop. I don't know why, but I said it last week and I was like, that was kind of funny. We call Gwenny Pop, our daughter.
We do.
I think that started with basketball.
It
Either
did.
way, today we are talking about, I think, Jen, you had some stuff you wanted to talk about, which was what? We talked about it at lunch.
Mentoring and finding the right mentor and just some insights that I think will help people.
Right. So finding the right mentor. And then we dealt with a little bit of a scam while we're at lunch. So we'll touch on that. And then I wanted to talk about what I talked about on our last newsletter, which was non-negotiables.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good thing.
Which I did read.
Oh, you did? What'd you think?
Mm-hmm. That was great.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Well, great.
Lots of
All right. Well, lots of what?
Lots of insight and helpful tips and questions to ask so people know where to start and kind of how to gain some traction moving forward.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's important for business
for sure.
to have non-negotiables.
Yeah, I would agree.
Those are essentially, those come from your core values. I would hope.
They should.
So, all right. Before we kick things off, we always start with our
opening takes.
Jen, what do you got?
Okay. So I'm going to keep it real. This last week as a business owner has been a little doozy. So I like to share this stuff because I think it resonates. And sometimes I think people feel alone, right? And they're like, no one understands whatever. Most people do, but you just feel alone. So we have dealt with this week. Let's just start with our dryer not drying our laundry for the 10th time. The dryer people supposed to come out, but then they can't come out because someone called out sick. So we have to do all the laundry at the house and drop it off because that's what you do, because you own a business and you show people that you can show up and get them all set. Now, in the meantime, we also have to keep our staff updated. Let them know hey, dryer's not working. All the laundry's done. We're dropping it off here. We'll pick it up tonight. They're coming to fix it tomorrow. La. But keeping them in the loop too, so they understand what's happening and why. On top of that, we have had some just employment decisions that were tough for me to make and for Todd's guidance on sort of where directions we needed to go. And we had to let an employee go this week or last week. And that is never easy. But when you put the business first and you have a mission and a core value and a vision, it's clear as day when that decision arrives on your plate that you need to make it. Not comfortable, not fun, but when you have your business set up with those core principles to start, you understand really early or really fast when you need to make these decisions, and they need to be made pretty fast. And then on top of that, as we're going to get into, we had this scam come our way. So, owning a business, I feel like some people are like, oh my God, you're so lucky you get to make your own hours. If you think owning a business is about making your own hours, you have another thing coming, because that is not at all what it's about. You're working all the time. Curveballs are thrown your way constantly. And it's really how you deal with those and how you show up as a leader and how you show your team, we got this, we're going to get through this. This is how we're getting through this. And you do it with a smile, even if it's not easy. So this week for me was just kind of a few curveballs and coming out of it better than ever, being uncomfortable, but growing from that and leading a team.
Okay. I have a question. So what I've been trying to do is really leave alone the opening takes. We just have them and move on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, though, that most people think I'm just going to do hair and keep all the money, and that's why they struggle with salon ownership? Because the majority of people that come into owning a salon are either people that were commission employees that went rental and now they're boss babes. And I know I pick on that term a lot, but it's funny to me. It's kind of comical. And I just think that they think, from people that we've talked to, they're just going to have their own business.
I absolutely think that. I think a lot of people don't realize that
you don't set your own hour. You're thinking, I'm just going to do hair. You're thinking, if you come into, say you're somebody that's a commission employee and you're like, I'm going to have my own business. I'm going to rent a chair. First of all, you're subleasing a chair from, it's not really like a business. You can't sell it. You can't do anything with it. Mm-hmm. So I understand that it is its own business by definition, but it's a very limited business. And for good reason.
Correct.
Because the majority of people, well, luckily, I should say, because the majority of the people that are doing this have no idea what they're doing, which is totally fine. I don't think you need to know what you're doing to start. You need to start and then figure stuff out, right? If you spend all of your time figuring stuff out in the beginning, you'll get paralysis by analysis and you'll never do anything.
Definitely.
And then if you just start, but you don't do anything after, then your business is already beginning to fail or move backwards, I'll say. Fail might be a little strong, but it's beginning to move backwards if you don't educate yourself from day one. By the end of week one, you're further behind if you aren't actively progressing.
So interestingly enough, the people I've met with that are going out on their own, running their own business, most of them are trying to open a salon with employees that I meet with. And yes, I know that they think they're going to keep more money than they're even able to because of just numbers. But anyway, the other side of that, though, is they think that they're going to give away all of this stuff. They think the salon I worked at didn't do these things, so I'm going to do all of this stuff. And it's quick that I'm like, okay, if you do this, if you give an hourly wage that you think is going to motivate someone that's way more than you can afford right now, what's going to happen when they don't do the work? And what's going to happen when they want to raise? You leave no room for that. And they're just looking at the things like that they feel they didn't get and they want to give more, but not understanding that then when they get in the business, they realize how hard it is to like make a profit, to grow a business. And they've already set themselves up to be in the negative because they think they're supposed to give more because they're not coming from a place of a business owner. They're coming of this emotional space that they think the salon I was at didn't treat me well enough, so I'm going to treat everybody better. And then they get into it and the numbers don't lie and those numbers don't work. And yes, you want to give everybody everything, but you've got to set your business up for a strong foundation that maybe in the future can do all the things you want to do today. But today you don't have a business yet. So like you're not there yet.
Yeah, I think I agree with all that. Where I was coming from is people think I'm just going to work the same amount of hours that I'm working now behind the chair, except keep all the money.
So if I meet with booth renters, yes, that's their mentality. Yes, I'm keeping everything.
But here's the thing. You're doing everything.
And even still, you can't keep it all because you still have to pay your taxes, your insurance, your rent, your product costs. There's still a percent that's coming out. But in what you're saying, they should keep more because you're wearing more hats. You're not just now the technician. You're the technician. You're the manager. You're just wearing so many more things, which you should get paid to do, if possible. But you also have to be able to manage money and understand what that looks like.
Interesting. Yeah, I for some reason I was like, we need to talk about this a little deeper than just this.
Great.
And yeah, the truth is you don't get to decide your hours when you're a business owner.
No, you're working 24/7-ish.
Maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, the word boundaries was like nauseatingly popular buzzword in the industry.
Yeah.
And it is important to have those things. But look, when someone calls you and they're like, hey, the power's getting shut off, you have to act on that. You don't go, oh, I'll be back tomorrow at 10. That's my schedule.
No.
You know what I mean? So when you're a business owner, you don't make your own hours. It's just such a misguided thought.
This is a really good point. So what I've done with this boundaries is we are closed at 8 at night, right? So I know once we're closed, I should be off the clock because there shouldn't be anything happening until we're open again. So Todd and I are very much available through a communication that we use when the business hours are open. Now, what I did do was I have clients that still text me, good or bad, don't care how you feel on it. I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me. So what I did was I turned off my text message notifications. So if a client texts me, unless I feel like looking at my phone, I don't see it. That's the boundary I set. Now, on the other side, the app we use for our staff, everything gets pushed through from 8:30 in the morning to 8 p.m. at night when we're open. So they have complete access to us in the way I set up my Slack because that's first. So clients now have a reduced access to me, but staff does when we're open. And then obviously when we're not and we're closed, those are my hours off. And that's how I was able to set boundaries to work in where we are at Hello.
Yeah, my quote unquote boundaries have always been if there's an emergency, reach out. Other than that though, everything should go in Slack and that's just how we run our business. Mm-hmm. So I hope that helps someone out there. All right. So my opening take is to not just follow the crowd.
Love.
And I keep seeing all this BS so right now, it seems like a lot of people in the industry, the hair industry specifically, are slow. And so they'll ask in these Facebook groups and other places, I'm really slow. What can I do? And the advice blows my mind. It literally confuses me because the majority of it is there's really nothing you can do about it.
Mm.
I saw today, just take a vacation. There's nothing you can do, which is mind blowing to me. That means that you're okay with your business just performing poorly. There's nothing you can do. You're just blaming somebody else. You're blaming the universe. You're blaming client spending habits. You're not being proactive. It's this very defeatist sort of position to take. And I do not know. I know it's a fault of mine. I do not know why it bothers me so much. I can guess at it. And my guess is that people are giving trash advice. So what you're doing by saying there's nothing you can do, just accept that you're slow during these periods. What you're doing is you're creating the next wave of people that believe that for no reason. Our salon is not slow. Our salon is beating itself quarter after quarter, year after year. So while July might not be our strongest month, we're beating July every July. We're still showing growth. And we focus on how can we know there are lulls in the hair industry. We know in the Northeast, at least, and probably around the whole United States, July is when people take vacations. They're not around. They don't need their hair done. So by knowing that, we can prepare for the future. And I really don't think it's that complicated. I think that's what irritates me even more. Now that I say it, it's not that complicated, but you're just so willing to give up. And if you're one of those people, you either need to do one of two things, in my opinion, and don't listen to me for anything, right? You listen to me if you want. I hope to help people out there, but you either need to get it together and figure it out or give up and move on. Because what are you going to do? Every single year, you're going to be like, oh, it's just slow. I'll just go complain on Facebook. That is so silly to me.
No, that
So
does not equate to a solution. I will say, so what we do is we don't just take a vacation in July. July is the month we plan a vacation, and we coach our staff to do the same because it's a great month to enjoy a week off and you're not getting hit with clients needing to get in, where other months are just super busy. They don't have to do that, but when they're asking for advice, July is the month where, like, if you want to take a week and not really miss out on anything, it's a great month to do that. And most of our staff takes off a week at some point in July. And we do too as owners.
And we're not doing, so education is massive at our salon. If you've listened to our podcast for any amount of time, or even last few episodes or the first few episodes, education is massive. We don't do a ton of education in July because we want people to, and when we do, we constantly get messages from the staff that are like, damn it, I wish I was there for that one.
Yeah.
And we're like, we'll do it again.
Yeah.
No big deal. But you
It
have
just
to be
looks different.
proactive. If you're a business person, if you're an entrepreneur, your job, your goal is not hair. It's to solve problems for your business. And so when you come across a problem, for you to just go, I give up. I don't know. Just, it's always slow. It's slow for everyone. For you to accept that and you to just mail it in like that, you probably shouldn't be doing it. Sorry to be so blunt, but that's how I feel. So I'm not even sorry. That's the truth. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to write CEO on something, you need to be a problem solver. It's slow. Okay, why? People are on vacation. Okay, 100% of people? No. Then how do you market to those people that aren't on vacation? I don't know. Well, who can you talk to figure it out? That's how the conversation should go. Not, it's slow. Yeah, I'm slow too. Oh, okay then. What is that?
Drives me insane.
Good. I'm glad it drives someone else insane.
It's
It doesn't
wild.
drive the 99% of people posting it constantly.
Whenever
insane.
I see a problem, I want to get to a solution or a solution-based conversation as soon as possible. Feel what you got to feel, be down what you got to be down for, but I want to look at how do we fix this? And I want that conversation quicker than most probably are ready for.
And it is 100% okay to feel frustrated. It is 100% okay to feel down.
Normal.
It is 100%
You're going to.
okay to go, wait, is everyone experiencing this? But the truth is, every time you say every or things of that nature where it's just so, it's so precise. I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's never going to be everyone. Like I see a lot of the answers on those Facebook groups are everyone's dealing with this. It just is what it is. And I'm like, okay, not everyone because we're not. And I know for 100% sure with 100% certainty, that was redundant, that other salons are out there that are like us that are doing just fine.
Right.
They're hitting their goals.
We've talked to some
beating their
salons
numbers,
that July was actually an up month for them.
They're hitting I forget what I was saying, but go ahead.
No, just
That
what I
was
said.
just it. That was, yeah.
But we've
Okay, cool.
talked to salons that July was a busier month for them than their June or their May was. So there are salons out there that July is a good month for them.
Mm-hmm. I think people flip when it's going to be busy too, because a lot of people are like, well, December will come and then that'll save us. But December doesn't necessarily mean busy.
And 1 month will not save you. I actually find December to be on the slower side. November, sure. December, not always what you think it's going to be.
Yeah. So I've been tracking month to month our business progress, services and things like that. And I'll probably continue to peek at it. But what I'm really looking at now, because we have enough data from opening in 2020 to being whatever with the pandemic, to 2021 to 2022, where we had a bunch of staff leave because we made some major changes in our business. I've been looking at it month to month, but now I've started to more pay attention to the quarters and pay attention to the macro picture, because that's how you need to get, especially if you want to do something else. And if you're saying that you're an entrepreneur, then owning a hair salon is not going to do it for you. It's not going to scratch the itch eventually. You're going to want something else. You're going to want more, because I want a challenge. I want something else to repair. I want something else to fix. I want to problem solve something else and create opportunities for other people and more people. So whether that's expanding and opening a second location, whether it's doing something like franchising, or whether it's something like a food truck, who knows what you might get into, but it's going to be a constant pursuit. All right, let's jump in. Jen, why don't you talk about this scam that we dealt with? Because it's kind of silly. We can be quick with it.
So I did deal with this once in my last business and I fell for it like hardcore. So today, a scam is always just there to basically confuse you, speed up like your kind of reaction time and the way you're thinking, and in a way that you make bad decisions. So I'll actually just explain how it went down, because it's at some point you're gonna go through it. So we get a call from one of the staff. Brooke calls me, hey, and we're at lunch with the fam. So like we're already in like a different scenario, and something just called.
How come?
I get to set my own hours, right? Yep. So in Oliver's playing on my phone Roblox, and I see Brooke's name, and he's like, "You don't need to talk to Brooke." I'm like, "I need to talk to Brooke. Why is she calling me? Because this is a rare occasion." So she's just like, "Hey, Eversource just called. They're switching out some meter. They told us any clients after 3:30 we need to reschedule today. What's up?" And now maybe it was like 2:45-ish, I'll say. So, we're talking less than an hour of time. So I'm like, okay, give me a hot minute. Let me call my landlord. So try to go to the source right away. I call them and they're like, nope, we don't know what you're talking about. And if Eversource was doing that, we would have let you know. So I'm like, okay, call back Brooke. She's like, they left this number for you to call. They said they sent a disconnection notice of something else 20 days ago. So now it went from changing a meter to this disconnection. So I'm like, what? So I'm on the phone. I call the number and the guy's like, we're going to shut off your service for late payment. And I look at Todd. I'm like, we're not behind. Everything's paid. It's automatically drafted out of our account. So I'm so confused. But I grabbed my debit card because now I'm so confused and I'm stressed out because when I had talked to Brooke, I could hear in the back, like, should we be moving our clients? What are we doing? And I'm like, everyone give me a minute. But again, they create chaos and confusion. So you're like off your game. So the guy I'm talking to says to me, can you drive to a town over and you can make this payment? And I'm like, no, that's 40 minutes.
Concord is not a town over.
Yeah. And it's 45 minutes from here or more. It would be past the time of this disconnection notice where we're going to lose power. So I'm like, he's like, all right, hold on. Let me call the guy that's disconnecting you and let me see if he'll kind of figure this out for you. I want to work with you. So I'm like, okay, can I just make this payment through you guys? Because if I can just use my debit card, get it set up, whatever's going on, I can figure it out after. I just don't want to not have power. So he puts me on hold and Todd looks at me and goes, it's a scam, hang up. And I'm like, but what if? And he's like, what number did you call? And I was like, I called the number that they told me to call. And I'm like, you're right, hang up. Let me call Eversource directly because is this even Eversource's number? And so in the meantime, the landlord's calling me back because she's like, we take scams very seriously. Like, what can we help you with? So now, like, I look at Todd. He's like, I'll handle the landlord. Stay on the phone with Eversource. I look up Eversource's number. It's completely different. And when I call Eversource, they recognize my phone number, hang on the line, like completely different experience. But still, I'm like, are we losing power? Are we not? Like, what's going on? So in the meantime, Todd reaches out to the staff on Slack and it's basically like, it's a scam. You guys are all set. Like, just don't worry about it. Jen's on hold and I'm dealing with the landlord. Ends up when I finally talked to Eversource, so like we would never do anything in that short of time. You would definitely get a bunch of different ways of communicating anything. Good thing you didn't pay anybody, but you're all set. So then we turned it into a joke with the staff. I was like, hey, it's 3:31. We made it. We still have power. But the point here is it would be very easy, and where we see so many salons just struggling and having so many problems, to add one more problem on whatever that day has already developed in front of you, to just like try to fix it when it's not real. Luckily the call came into me, so I pay the bill, so I know like that's not possible, but it still tripped me up. Even though I knew that I was not owing any money, I still almost tried to give the guy my debit card. So it did help that I was obviously sitting across from Todd and he was just like, stop, like check your brain. But these scams are out there and it is really easy to fall into it really quickly. And we would have, I don't know what would have happened after if we had, but luckily nothing came out of it. And here we are. So beware of scams.
Yeah, keep your eyes and ears open. And when somebody gives you a number and says, here's the number. So 3 people gave us that number and it was the incorrect number.
Yeah.
They even give us an extension.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not Eversource's number, but thank you. That is a made up number. And it appears that it's Eversource when you call them because I called it, but it's not them.
Yeah. And I honestly, at the beginning of that call, I wasn't even listening to anything. I was so frantic about keeping the power on. Like, this can't be shut off. We have a really busy day, which is what they want. That's exactly what they're looking for. So, hopefully we had decided to talk about this today just because we hope it helps somebody not get in a situation where you actually do lose out on money and you do something that you're like, why did I fall for that? You hear about scams all the time, but they're really good at creating confusion and chaos, and you just kind of got to get ahead of that. So hopefully this just helps somebody, like when that call comes in, be like, wait, give me a second here. Like, I need a minute.
It's really important to pay attention to the details with things too, like even the phone numbers. Just because someone gives you the phone number, I had 3 different people give me the phone number, and it was the incorrect phone number because it's the phone number that the scammer provided.
Right. Yeah.
So if you don't cross-check, and they were like, no, that's Eversource's number. I'm like, no, it's literally not. I searched it. It's not their number. It's nowhere on their website. It doesn't exist. And the second number was disconnected by the time we called it back.
And where they told us to go for payment was not even where the office is located.
Yeah.
So it just took us, again, the chaos is there, but you have to like take a breath and understand what's happening in front of you. So again, share just so that hopefully we can help some people.
And don't let it get to you, because for a second it bummed me out, because I was like, we're at lunch with our kids. It's summer vacation and you just took 20 minutes away from our children so that we could deal with you, and you didn't get anything out of it, and neither did we.
Nope.
I didn't get the satisfaction of punching you in the face, because I guarantee you they're scamming some old lady or old man right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what really like ticks me off.
Yeah,
that taking advantage of people just drives me crazy.
Now, on the other side, we were, like I said, at lunch with our family. So we turned the conversation as a teaching experience. Like, our oldest son was asking a bunch of questions, and, hopefully it's something that maybe they hold on to in the future, but this is what happens in business. So they get to experience all of it with us.
What was our next topic? Mentorship?
Yes.
And you wanted to talk specifically about mentors that don't fit?
That, and so my first thought here was, I'll tell a brief story. So a couple years ago, we started dealing with, some of you, if you know us, you know this. My dad's wife, she had dementia. She passed away this year. And we were working on a bunch of things. And I kept saying to my dad, like, you need to have some conversations with these doctors, whatever. And then finally one day I'm like, Dad, why are you not making these phone calls? We need to help Doris. Flat out simple looked at me. He's like, I don't know what to say. I'm so embarrassed. I have no idea what to say when I call them. And I'm like, all you say is I need help. You're calling them. They're the experts. They're the specialists. They're the ones there to help you. You don't have to have any answers except, hey, I need help. And then explain what's going on with Doris. And he's like, I never even thought that it was that easy or that simple. So
Because it's not.
because it's not, but it's also
It's very simple. It's not easy.
right. And he just was like,
Because nobody wants to feel stupid.
correct. So,
And that breaks my heart that people even feel that way, because obviously this is our family I'm talking about. So losing a family member, losing Doris is heartbreaking in itself. But to think that there are so many other people out there suffering and dealing with things like dementia and Alzheimer's and whatever, and they're just like, I don't know where to go. I don't want to sound stupid, so I'm not going to reach out.
Yeah.
When, like, Jen, what you're saying is just reach out and say,
I need help.
I need help.
And you'll find the right people who then can help you. They don't need any other information. So, and Todd and I touch base with people all the time that need help. And for some, they're reaching out and they're at their like end. They're like, they feel like they're lost, they failed. All of these things are going on, but it's you gotta feel, I guess, that uncomfortable of making that first connection. There's lots I want to talk here, but first was like, if you don't even know what to do in your business or how to get it right or make it right, you may not need to. You just need to find the right person to come up with a strategy that will work for you, your business, your staff. There's so many mentorship companies out there that it's a black and white, here, do this, it'll work. If that's your jam, those are the people you should be reaching out to. If you're looking for something to help your business the way it works now, but like make it better, then you have to find someone that doesn't have just a template to hand you and say, do this. And all you have to do is interview people that are out there looking to work with other people to help your business better. And all you have to say is, I need help. Like if you come on an onboarding call with Todd and I, he has 3 or 4 pages to ask you a bunch of questions. So you don't even have to know where your flaws are. You don't even have to know what's not working. When you answer the questions, it'll be very apparent what are your pros, what are your cons, what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths. It's just getting on the call. It's having the strength and the courage to just get on that first call. And then try other people too. But I think people get so frozen and I don't know what to say, or I'm so embarrassed that I'm not running some successful business. Move on. Get over that. Get over yourself. Get over everything you thought you were supposed to do. The sooner you do that and you reach out and ask for help, the sooner you'll get on track.
Yeah. Even if you start out on the wrong track, it's still progress and there's still a lot of lessons. So Jen and I have worked with business mentors across different industries. I've worked with restaurant mentors and coaches when I was managing restaurants. I've never owned a restaurant. No, thank you. I have people ask me all the time because I happen to know how to cook. And so they're like, would you ever open a restaurant? I've had people offer to partner with me. I don't think I have it in me to run a restaurant because, to be honest with you, I love them. I love restaurants. And I think it would require more than we have time to run, because we have kids and stuff. And I think I would have to ignore my kids, ignore my wife, ignore all other businesses to make a restaurant successful. So that's the biggest reason. We've had coaches and mentors with the gym that we owned. We've had coaches and mentors with the past salon that Jen owned with a business partner, which actually let's touch on. So we had someone, I thought that this group was going to be great because we started working with this person and they assembled this like power team or super team or whatever. And this person was working with like oil companies and shit. Like she was working with like big corporations. And so I just thought, well, she's just going to tell us what to do and we're going to do it and we're going to be a big corporation. Well, fast forward, none of that applied to our small business. Very, very little of it applied, I'll say, because there's some good stuff that came out of it. Sure. Yeah. I think you fired somebody that wasn't a good fit.
It began the end of that salon, really.
It did begin the end of that salon. And then
she crushed it. And there was other factors too, but she definitely was part of it.
Oh, yeah. I think it's important to, when you're searching for someone, do not ever let someone come in and just take over. And that's what happened there. And that's perfect the way you just summed it up. Like that person crushed that business because they didn't understand the business. What they were trying to do is they were trying to push their own agenda. And I see that a ton in the hair industry too. I don't think it's industry dependent. I think it's across all industries. The people in the hair industry, though, a lot of coaches that I see, a lot of mentors, whatever you want to call yourselves, business gurus, whatever, are pushing some sort of agenda. They're trying to amass a populace, a population, a following, so that they can say, oh, we have this many people. Look, it works. But if you really ask the people that work with those groups, Like, is your salon better? Some of them will tell you it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard through the grapevine, we're not talking specifics here, so I feel fine saying this, that some companies that offer mentoring, their mentors don't even run profitable salons.
Check
They're
that out.
struggling,
Right.
but they're telling you what
They don't
to
even
do.
buy in or believe in the things that they're teaching or telling those people to do. Shame on
Right.
you.
Because it's more about spreading the message
Mm-hmm.
than it is about truly helping.
And you're taking
Now,
advantage of people in a weak spot.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I am no way, shape, or form saying that Jen and I are the best business mentors in the world, because we're not. The
No,
best
but
business mentors
we come
probably
from
are someone
the
else.
extreme best place.
Yeah. Yes. What I was going to say is we truly want to help the individual.
Yes.
And that's what we care about. And that's what we focus. And that's what gets us fired up. We just had a call with someone this morning, and I don't remember the last time I've been as fired up,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
We have a call on Friday, I believe you said, and with another business owner that would like some mentorship. And I am absolutely fired up to learn about, I don't even know this person's name. Fired up. I just want to help. I want to hear their story, and I want to find out what's important to them. And then I want to build a plan of attack with them, not from a template.
Right.
Again, nothing wrong with a template. If that's how you choose to move, go for it. I don't care.
You'll grow out of that, though, and you'll eventually realize that you want to run your business your own way. And now you'll have to figure out how to do that.
Right.
I believe.
Yes. So instead of being handed a template, learn how to build a template.
Yeah, do it now, because you'll just be that much better off.
Yes, because then you can self-correct in the future. My goal is never to have somebody that pays us to mentor them for life. My goal is to get people to where they need to be. We've had people that we've mentored for 3+ years, I believe, all the way down to people that we mentored for 1 month and that have said, you know what? I just realized I needed a little clarity. You guys gave me that. I think I'm good to take it from here. I'll call you guys if I need you.
Mm-hmm.
And while some people will be like, that's not a great business plan, we didn't start this. Like, we don't even know where this Hello Hair Pro, like mentoring, Hello Hair Pro education, we don't even know really where that's going yet.
Because we don't have an agenda. Our agenda is just to help people with whatever it is that they need.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. I will say it's growing and things have ticked up, and we've been getting a lot more inquiries.
It's very exciting.
Over the past few months. But it's been like, I've heard people say this before in the past, other people that are like, I created content for 4 years, 5 years before anybody gave a shit, before anybody commented on anything. And to be honest, what are we at? We're at almost 4 years with this podcast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And just now people are like, I'm finding your podcast. Holy crap. I need your help. I need this, or I want to talk to you, or can I come shadow you, or can I just come hang out, or can we just talk, or whatever? And the answer is always yes. If we can make it work, we'll make it work. I think Jen's message, though, with mentors is don't let them take over.
Yeah, be very careful.
Don't let them push their own agenda.
Mm-hmm.
You need somebody that's working for you. You have to understand that a business mentor is somebody that, especially if you're paying them, but it's somebody that should want to grow you, not grow them. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing, and I know this is important to Jen, is you can feel like you're kind of stuck, like you're obligated.
Yes.
You're not. You're not at all.
Move on whenever you're ready.
You can just move on. Hey, this isn't working for me. Hey, I'm going to take a break with this. Hey, I don't want to do this anymore. Hey, fuck you. You hurt my business. Yeah. That's always fun to say.
Yeah. And we've dealt, I think you had better luck in the, honestly,
all of those too.
I think in the gym world, you had a lot better luck with mentors. I've never had good luck with mentors. That's why I think this really inspires me, because anybody I've ever worked with did nothing good for where I wanted to be and never was there for the vision I had at all. And
there's a huge disconnect too, because you don't have to necessarily run a salon to mentor a salon, because business is business. At the end of the day, a P&L is a P&L.
Well, yeah, and if you can take in the information of whoever you're talking to, you can create a plan.
Correct. Yep.
Like I said, I've just never had good experience. So for me, it's really important to bring to the table I use the word customized often, but customized to each person we talk to, and each salon is treating it its own because they're not the same and the needs aren't the same. Some people come with great strengths and different weaknesses and vice versa.
Agreed. All right, let's touch on non-negotiables real quick, and then
Sure.
we can wrap up.
Okay.
So last week I put out an email about non-negotiables. It was my newsletter. If you're not on there, 321 Pro Push.
It was
click the
really
button.
good. It was really good. If you're not
Click the
on it,
button at the bottom of the show notes, and you can sign up. So
do it.
Jen and I have been watching The Bear. I think we just finished, right? We just wrapped up season 4.
Yeah, we did.
So again, if you've listened to us at all, you know that I like dig the restaurant industry. I love hospitality and all that stuff. So I really enjoyed that series and I found it inspiring. And is some of it dramatized for television? Hell yeah. Of course it is. Why? Because it's television. You got to be able to see through that stuff. Don't be silly.
People love drama.
But in one episode, the bear Carmi passed out a list to everyone, and he had Sugar photocopy it and give a list to everyone, and it was non-negotiables. And I thought that was so cool because I think that if you did that in your salon, you would freak out because you would be like, my staff is going to quit. There's no way that they're going to go for non-negotiables. And in this episode, the character that did this, if you're not familiar with the bear, was basically like, I don't care. This is what it takes to run the most successful restaurants in the world. And so there's no room for people's feelings and all that stuff. When it comes to your business, you need to lead from two places. You need to lead with both sides of your brain. You need to lead with the logic side that makes sense and does what you know it's going to do and is math. And then you need to lead from the other side, which is how do I make this connect with human beings? But it doesn't mean that you ignore the non-negotiables because you think my team won't buy into this. That's a leadership issue. That's you not being able to explain to your team the why or what you're trying to accomplish, or better yet, the growth that you're trying to provide for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those are all great reasons to have non-negotiables. Now, we don't have a list. We have a handbook and we have rules, but we don't have a list of non-negotiables. I am working on one because I believe that it's that important. And I don't think our staff is going to have an issue with it. I think actually it will help some of our staff.
I think they'll be inspired by it.
Yeah. Or when you look at your coworkers, right? There's always going to be that coworker that never cleans quite as much as you do, right? They never clean up that. I always clean up that. They never sweep this area, but I sweep this area. They never do this for their clients, but I do this for my clients. There's always going to be that person, right? And they're not trying, they might be, but odds are they're not trying to be malicious. They're not trying to hurt you. They're just doing what they believe is right. So when the leader comes along and they're like, hey, here's this list of non-negotiables, I don't even really want feedback. They're non-negotiables. And that comes from the leadership. That just shows strength. And then when you explain the why behind it, and I don't mean explaining it every day. If someone's just going to complain constantly, they're probably not a good fit for your team. Because the best salons in the world don't operate that way. They operate from the top down because they know what it takes.
Right.
And if somebody can't see that and they can't buy in, unfortunately, in the past, we've had people that don't buy into what we're doing. No problem. They leave to go somewhere else because they think the opportunity is better. The grass is greener over there. They get there and they understand now at this point they've been deceived. That's tragic.
Yeah.
We don't want that happening to people. So you've got to be a leader and you've got to step up and you've got to explain to people why you have these non-negotiables and why they matter and how it's going to impact them and their clients in the future.
I think
do you have anything else?
I do.
Go.
Just real quick, but we talk a lot about you need a mission, core values, but you need a vision. And I think the vision with this non-negotiables works hand in hand. Because where do you want your business to go? Like what does that look like? And your non-negotiables really push you in that direction and make sure you have the right team. I have been accused by a past employee of having expectations too high. Like someone actually asked me, like, do you think your expectations are too high? And I remember looking right at her and I was like, they're actually really low still. They're not even where I want them to be, but this is where I need you guys to meet in order to push you to where I need you to be. So I'm like, if you think this is too high, I'm not so sure you're going to last here, because this is just the stepping stone. But those expectations come from a place, these non-negotiables come from a place of the vision of Hello and where we want it to be and what we're trying to accomplish. So without that vision, though, I think it could be very difficult. So that's why those things are so important to have those those beginning foundation things, so you can put these things into practice and explain like where they are, where they need to be, and what you're trying to achieve with them. I set the bar high. It's just where I'm at. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I also, when we were opening, had to set the bar at a place that I needed people to meet so I could set it higher. That's just where that's at. But Todd and I have a vision of where we want it to be and things that we want done. And we clearly now have a team that is capable of doing all of those things.
I have a quick story, unless you want to say anything else.
No, I'm good.
So I wrote this in my newsletter last week. So Jen, you already heard this, so apologies. But for people that haven't heard, back in the day, I worked at a fairly high-end restaurant. We weren't fine dining, but we blurred the line for most people. A management position became available, and I jumped all over it. I was super stoked about this. I beat out another candidate, and he became salty. Understandable. He then began showing up late, leaving the rest of the staff to pick up his slack. He did a bunch of other stuff too. I explained to him that regardless of how he felt about me, that he couldn't continue to act this way. The very next shift, he showed up late. At this point, the staff is watching. I met him at the door, and they were literally watching. I met him at the door, and I told him I wouldn't tolerate these actions any longer because it wasn't fair to the team. And I told him that since I was the person responsible for the team, I had to fire him. That was my first time firing somebody, and it sucked, but the staff was watching. Later on, our head chef pulled me aside and explained to me that he understood how difficult that was for me, but he also appreciated me stepping up because the restaurant was better off as a whole. Our relationship was amazing from that point on, and he taught me a ton about food and restaurants over the next year or so. So if you take those difficult decisions and you do them now because they're non-negotiable, you'll get to where you want to be faster.
Yep.
If you put them off, you're just delaying any progress that you're going to make.
Agreed.
Anyways, hope this episode helped, and reach out if you need help or want to talk. And if you want to get on that newsletter list, go ahead and do that. 321 Pro Push.
Do it.
Hit subscribe, hit like, leave us a review on the podcast if you want. We don't have a lot of reviews on our podcast. Maybe we should ask for more of those. If you guys are listening and you like it, leave us a 5-star review. It really helps. All right. Bye, everyone.